Hi everyone, my name's Adrian Stanley. I'm the Chief Business Development Officer at KGL. I'm pleased to be doing this video interview, the KGL POI's videos insights with Adam Day, the
Hi.
founder and CEO of Clear Skies. So working on our first question, Adam. Papermill alarm, one of the Clear Skies products. How does Clear Skies distinguish between different levels of Papermill research integrity alerts, and what practical guidance do you have for editors on how to work with these signals, how you're helping peer review through that?
Yeah, probably the first thing to say is that a lot of what we do now is not limited to paper mills. So the alerts were initially intended to show where we had a risk of false positives. So red alert meant that there was a very low false positive rate, and that was how red alerts were designed, engineered from the ground up to have a low false positive rate. Orange alerts were intended to have a low false negative rate. So the idea there being that we minimize the chance of missing something, but also allowing in occasional articles where there could be a false positive. Over time, that has developed, and now we think much more in terms of actionability. So red alert means that we have a large number of findings that can be used in an investigation to help the publisher get to a decision very quickly. Orange generally means that there will be fewer findings. Actually, that does fit with the original definition quite well as well, but it is something that has gradually changed over time as we've run the service.
Where do you see AI adding the most value in supporting peer review and in integrity of the scientific published record? And how do you sort of, this is a sort of double-edged question, how do you see the balance between machines and human oversight?
Yeah, so I suppose the first question was a bit about, where does this fit into triage? And it isn't just triage. We really fit in at any point during the process, anything from the paper being written to all the way to, sadly, papers sometimes being retracted. So they go through a lot of different stages there, and there are different things we want to check for at different stages. One of the really key things is workload for editors. So we want to make sure that we're minimizing the amount of work that editors have to do by, first of all, surfacing the most important things that they need to focus on in order to get to a decision quickly. But there's a lot of, as you say, balance in there. So one thing I think about a lot is the ethics. Where do machines come in and where should they come in? So we called our application, we called it oversight for a reason. It's about humans having oversight over automated processes. So I think machines can't really make judgments. They can potentially make decisions, but they can't make judgments. So when it comes to something like misconduct, we have to be very careful that we're not automating a process where someone might be judged as having done something wrong in an automated way. But we can automate everything up to that point. Everything that gets to the point where an editor can be very confident about making a decision. And I think that's really where that balance needs to be. We want to see artificial intelligence and we want to see automation processes reducing workload. What we don't want to see is those automation processes taking away the key parts where the human needs to be involved.
Yeah, excellent. And now sort of looking to the future too. I mean, oversight is able to sort of track and monitor all the published content. You have a sort of research integrity index, but and there are many other tools that do different ways of checking and supporting integrity. How do you see the future of both peer review and integrity moving forward? Do we feel confident the scientific record can have more trust now, and these tools are really going to support editors?
Yeah. So fundamentally, the publishing industry has always delivered value by being able to extract truth from information. And that's really critical. It's always been critical, but it's going to be more important in the future. We're going to see more and more information in the world. We're going to see information that is far more easy to produce, AI being a big driver of that. But the really important thing is that we can separate truth from information and understand, probably that's about understanding what is good science, what is science that's been done well. But also there is this aspect of it, which is how do we identify the signs of science being done unethically or fraudulently. In some ways, we can look at all the changes that are happening around AI, and it can be quite daunting and quite overwhelming. But the thing I think is really great for the publishing industry is that the industry has always been in a position where it delivers a service that's going to be increasingly valuable in the future, which is extracting truth from information.
That's excellent, Adam. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you.
Adam writes some thoughtful blogs on the Medium blog post. There'll be more information available via the KGL side and others. And happy peer review week to everybody. Thanks.
Thank you.